Okay. Let's double check to make sure we are up and running.
Hi, kitten. Meow.
Just ignore Isaac. He is playing with his cat. Okay. We'll be with you in a moment. Do 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 do. Oh. If that is a problem with action, it's that you can't really switch in between tabs. Hang on, I had to restart it, so it's having to load all the workshop stuff. Way too much workshop stuff. Where should we go and what should we do? So I can't remember what I do and don't have. I legitimately forgot about this. The VeggieTales countertop. Let's have some good wholesome fun and tell a wholesome story. As we load resources, I think out of all the games I play on this laptop, this is the most resource heavy, which is really surprising. Actually, just got done a couple hours earlier on Twitch playing a bunch of horror games. We'll be exporting that probably in the next couple days. Wow. So this is what Bob and Larry look at every morning. Oop. There's no clip, so I am God. Oops. Okay. Now let's see. Today, on a very special episode of... Hang on, wait, I thought I had these. There are a lot. Okay. Two results. Wait, I don't think they have one for Bob. That's very sad. Well then. I'm going to open the workshop real quick. And we are back. I cannot tell if it starts a new live stream or just continues the one we are doing. Okay, so until the models download, this is, I know, it's a prequel. So, wait. Big 0 results for cucumber.
I scared the cat with a sneeze.
There we go. An eggplant. That'll work. Where did my eggplant go? Alright. So, one day... all of a sudden, a cherry tomato landed in this kitchen. And then it was like, oh no, I'm a cherry tomato. I'm so small. I'm so insignificant. I'm not a cherry, but I'm not a tomato either. What am I to do? Wait, where'd he go? Oh my goodness. Okay. So... okay, we'll just go here. Where did I find that tomato? Oh, I bet I know where it is. I'll search it again. He's like... and so then, this tomato, this cherry tomato, came up with the ultimate plan. He would create a city of living vegetable men. Well, living produce men. We went into his secret sink laboratory that he always had. And then, he began his experiments. Wait. This doesn't really look like a secret lab. We gotta fix that. Okay. Okay, so there's a computer. There's another computer for the evil little cherry tomato. He's just, you know, on the keyboard like... he's just doing science. Clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety 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 clickety. And then And then he did more science. An endless pursuit of his scientific endeavors of science. Beep, 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 pressing buttons, do, 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 do. And then... from the drain. Came his first creation. An evil, warty cucumber. And he was like, "Excellent. I have created life." And a cucumber was like, "Huh. What? You created life? I'm live?" He's like, "Yes, now shut up. Now go. I have more life to create." Okay, let's see. So then he flew away and then landed over there. Then he created the perfect organism. And he named it Larry. But Larry was not a mere subservient cucumber. He did the unthinkable.
Is it part of me that wonders why he didn't just name it Bob?
What? What'd you say?
For some reason, part of my brain just thought I've created the perfect organism. And he said, I was meant to go, I named it, and I thought, Bob.
I named it what?
Bob.
Oh, 'tis not true. Larry, the ultimate organism, then took the cherry tomato and devoured it. And then threw it away. Larry was God now. He perfected the cherry tomato's genetically engineered vegetable science and spawned the ultimate companion. And he would be known as Bob. However, unbeknownst to Larry, Bob was created from that same cherry tomato DNA, and for the rest of time they would always be at odds with each other. And would often question Larry's proclamations of being the true creator. Oh, whoops. I undid Bob from existence. Go. Okay. And from there, let go. Larry created more of his super vegetable beings. However, he realized something. Eventually, someone could gain access to this technology and use it to create something that could destroy him. So, Larry did the only sensible thing. And destroyed his lab. Oops. Okay, maybe we were a little off with that. The entire basement laboratory was ignited. And Larry looked upon his children and said, "This was an act of God." Okay. But Larry discovered that there was one who questioned him. He proclaimed that the bunny was the true God. Larry was not pleased, and as such, there was swift punishment for the dissenter. They watched in horror as an example had been made of him. It was Larry's way, or the highway.
From the sounds of it, there was no horror highway.
One known as Archibald asked Larry about that. That phrase doesn't work because Larry and highway don't rhyme. It appears as though Archibald did not pay attention to those who dissented Lord Larry. Larry would retreat to the corner of the kitchen and bask in his victory. the dissenters and non-believers in his cause had suffered a swift and fiery death, and those who remained were too afraid to challenge him. Larry was on top of the world. But little did he know, the cherry tomato was not. The cherry tomato had survived his encounter with Larry. And upon salvaging his laboratory, had begun his ultimate plan for vengeance. Trying to find a good one.
Oh, I thought you were actually making this stuff up, not...
No, I've been making this entire thing up as I went along for 2 people. I'm just trying to find a good material from the material gun.
You're a material girl in a material world, Trey. I'm surprised you didn't go, no, I'm a material man, but alright.
No, I am material. I'm just material.
Wow. You did not get the reference, did you?
It's a song by Madonna, right?
Yes, it is indeed a Madonna song.
Okay. Alright, now, oh yes. While the cherry tomato planned his revenge, Larry had become quite inflated from his victory over the heretics, to the point that he had even commissioned a statue made of solid gold.
Is it bad that my brain immediately said he commissioned a statue of the corpses of the heretics? Or from the corpses of the heretics?
No, Archibald and the other guy are burnt. They're just cooked. Bob had worried for how this would affect the youngest, one Junior Asparagus. He feared that Junior, like the other others, would be driven to fight against the oppressive regime of Larry, and would meet their end in the burn pit. Bob knew the only compromise was to try to find a way to reason with Larry, in a way that still placated his ego. Bob and Larry would talk for the next several days about ways to improve the kitchen, even recommending trying to salvage the lab to create more citizens, as they are vegetables and cannot reproduce without literally ripping their seeds out and planting them. While Larry was not fond of the idea of creating more potential heretics, he did know that you needed a populace to properly start a society. So, he did not burn Bob at the stake, and began concocting new ideas for inhabitants of his beautiful veggie world.
Is this where we get to hear the true treachery of Bob, where he, instead of making vegetables, he made fruit?
Not quite. Larry had believed the original lab to be nothing but smoldering wreck, and so had fashioned a new facility to continue the experiments before. His goal was modest and simple. With Bob assisting him, he would create a new life. Larry saw the chance to have an entire city of people loyal to him. Bob saw a potential army to overthrow the tyrannical cucumber for good.
Meep, 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 meep. Execute Order 66.
Their first attempt at the new generation of food was a combination of potato and cardboard. For his golden locks, they dubbed him Frylock. Frylock would assist Bob and Larry in their endeavors, until eventually creating the ultimate, an entirely liquid being simply known as Shake. Before long, their experiments took them towards meat. This allowed them to create the crabuloids and the even larger crabuloids.
We all know what you're doing. You're doing Aqua Teen Hunger Force here.
Actually, not anymore. Now we have Mirelurks from Fallout as the crabuloids. I just grabbed them because they're food. And now we have abandoned the food premise entirely in this psychotic late-night cringe fest.
Please don't sue us. We don't have money.
He does, I don't.
No, I don't.
Now with an army of crabuloids, Larry felt confident that he could take on any threat to the kitchen. However, Bob was working on a plan of his own. To create a life form. That was unstoppable and insatiable. The which Bob created in secret. Hungry Pumpkin. This crude kitchen society was believed to be perfect now, bordering on utopian, at least in the eyes of Larry. And if anyone had any problems with it, they could deal with the crabuloids. Oh, yeah. Oh. Hello.
Someone in the chat?
Nope, not now nor ever, I'm afraid. That's why I'm just doing whatever, despite how dumb and cringy it is.
Maximum cringe. No way. We were gonna do maximum cringe.
Don't, Isaac.
What did you think I was gonna say?
Nothing. Anyway. Meanwhile, the cherry tomato was fast at work in the remains of his lab. He was going to wipe out all of the produce kind he had created.
With a virus?
No. with something I haven't found yet. Okay, maybe not that. Alright. He created meat. Meat, however, was an unstable creature, and turned on the cherry tomato, devouring him. Nom nom nom. Meat was unstoppable, even feasting on the cooked and delicious remains of the heretics. Meat grew stronger with all he consumed. As an even greater evil than Larry himself was unleashed. Bob had prepared to unleash his ultimate weapon against Larry's forces. The hungry pumpkin was going to do unthinkable. He was going to devour Larry, thus ending his reign of terror. They were not afraid of Larry's crabuloids, for within seconds, the pumpkin had devoured the smallest one. And it was gone. Larry had begun to panic. He had thought this thing to be unbeatable. But then, it came worse. Descending from out of nowhere and roaring like a beast from the pits of hell, meat arrived. Not hesitating, Meat grabbed the small and impressionable Junior and devoured him. There we go. Larry was terrified of the beast. It looked at him. It reached out a claw. and said, "You killed my father's dreams," and began to grab Larry. The remaining crabuloids readied into battle, but they were too late. As Meat grabbed Larry and began to devour him. From there, it began to set its sights for everyone else around. Meat was still hungry. Soon began an epic battle against the crabuloids, but Meat was far too powerful. Meat was now prepared. But then all of a sudden, Meat convulsed. He twitched. His body began to shake. And then suddenly, Meat's meaty red body turned. Well, didn't expect that. Oh well. Green. And then, in horror, Meat grabbed at the bob, but something felt different about Meat, and he proceeded to say in a very familiar voice, "Did you really think you could just eat me and it would be over?" Larry had merged with Meat! The apocalypse seemed impending. Bob closed his eyes and prepared for the end. His plan had failed, and the world would forever be under the tyranny of Larry. In his now unstoppable meat body. But then, all of a sudden, flying dropkick! He gets flung back! Bob is barely saved by none other than his creation, the hungry pumpkin. The pumpkin knows if it devours the Larry meat creature, there's a good chance it'll just metastasize into his body as well. But he knows what must be done. Larry Meat rises and attacking in a really cool sequence that would look a lot better if it was done in that really meticulous Garry's Mod stop-motion animation, but the pumpkin was just as powerful. Bop, bop, bop. Even with the power of meat, Larry and the pumpkin were evilly matched. A fight that could theoretically go on forever. But then, hungry pumpkin, he jumped, and then he did what he was born to do, and consumed Larry. Larry and meat. I forgot I had the remover tool this whole time. The pumpkin stood. He knew that he had won the day, but he knew another thing. He could already feel Larry beginning to take control of his body as well. The pumpkin had no choice but to use his... Pumpkin had no choice but to use his only thing left to do. A contingency Bob had placed in the event Larry was capable of overriding it. As the pumpkin started to turn green like Larry, it leaped, landing right in the sink. And then its self-destruct protocol came in. And the pumpkin exploded. In a massive, beautiful, spectacular thermonuclear explosion that wiped all life from the kitchen. Bob had gotten lucky and survived. Now the last of the living. Now the last of these sentient food mutants. Bob knew that the lab's been completely destroyed by this. But if he could rebuild them, he vowed to make it a better world. And so, after an arduous process, of trial and error with new technology, Bob had restored those fallen. He had wiped their minds, so they would never know of their true origin. Products of science. And instead took them, instead they were created by a being called God. Even Larry was reborn. Bob had made him a lot dumber and more humbler, as to run the risk of not another Larry regime again. And so Bob would never tell them the true story. Instead, they began to tell their own tale. The Veggie Tales. And then, like, you have the credits roll over this scene of the Golden Larry statue just burning. And scene. Magnificent, if I do say so myself. And if anybody watched that, well, thank you. We'll probably do this again, and that's not a threat. That's a guarantee.